All right, we are live. What's going on, fellow traders? Hope everybody had a great trading day today. So, wow, another day, up 11 points, but the majority of that was today's range, basically. We opened pretty flat today, and had a little bit of an up, and then a down, and then a little bit of an up, and just a lot of chop today. Very narrow range day. So we'll get to that in a second. In the meantime, here's our monthly chart. Right. So as of now, we're getting close to the end of the month. Still green. So assuming it holds here, at least the 50% of the range, but it would be interesting to see how this candle changes over the next couple days, just to see what it ends up like in the record books, right? So that'll be definitely interesting to see. Weekly chart right now, inside week, right? Just kind of shows you how choppy we are, just kind of being inside the prior range, but red at this point. So we'll see if they can get it green tomorrow on Friday before the G20 summit, or are we going to continue to chop? So this is where we're at. Yesterday things were looking pretty bearish, right? Kind of coming into the day, but you know how the market likes to be. It likes to trick everybody, or make it as painful for everybody as possible, even for us day traders who like to scalp levels. And so here we gapped up today, which was neat, but it was expecting a little bit more of a move, and actually a gap fade today with kind of this big open gap right here on the daily with as a magnet, but also the gap here just on the daily chart there from where we closed yesterday. Thursday is usually a high probability gap fade day. Today it didn't quite do it. So, but we did catch a couple moves. So let's take a look at the price action here on the daily. So you can see what we were looking at initially. This is a great catch right here. We basically snagged this short-term volumetric low and grabbed that right to the tick pretty much on the options. This is something that I tweet out to subscribers through the positive-trends.com website. So you can check that out. Go to our services, Elite Alert service there, and you can get all this stuff through the private Twitter, along with some other great stuff too. So anyway, we caught that and pushed down here, gave us a bear flag, a little bit pushed down another kind of annoying bear flag right there, and it finally just flushed. Right, it was kind of watching all this just choppiness, and then finally give us a nice push here for a profitable move, and then we stop right here at the daily pivot line. Makes sense. Give a nice strong reversal bar off of this downward trend line. Gave us a minor pivot high. Tried to break through there. Got a little bit choppy into it, but then finally launched to the upside and gave a pretty nice move there. Bull flag up to the R1 level. Chop, and then up back to that volumetric low level, and then just chop into the close. So very, very. Oh, and then just that mess too. So just a little bit of a messy day today. Very, very narrow range, narrowest range in. So this is a continuation from our conversation yesterday. Inside day, right? It's also the range was $10.73, so 10.73, which makes it the narrowest range in. That was 10.87. Here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and R7. So we have just from our discussion on inside bars yesterday, we have a narrow range inside bar on the 7. So what this would imply to me is that unless we get a double inside day tomorrow, we should get some movement. So tomorrow would make sense. The IWM, the Russell has done its recontracting, and so that does occasionally lead to movement to the upside. So we'll see if we get a breakout through these levels, maybe push, and then maybe even get us up to that 29.47 level and kind of start working its way back to all-time highs. We'll see. If not, maybe a breakdown, inside day down, fill a couple gaps, get to the 50 moving average, and give us some range, give us some movement, right? So we can capitalize on that. Let's take a look at the daily chart, just kind of see where we're at. Let me move this over here, there, go daily, go remove all studies. Sorry, I had this. Was using that screen a lot today. So here we are. This is our chart. Looking good in the neighborhood. So here is our channel, this golden channel that we climbed up all the way through 2018. Christmas reversal gave us that pitchfork level in the blue, and so far so good. Kind of came off of there and through the reaction line. So it is holding this this former resistance zone is now basically, trying to be support zone. So if it could break to the upside, that would be helpful for the chart to be constructive. So if not, then we might be putting in sort of like a mini kind of head and shoulders here, and then who knows, we could work our way back down at the bottom of the channel maybe by mid-July or the end of the month. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how things go. I like to throw in the fast stochastic on this chart, so it makes things a little bit interesting. So let's get that. If my computer, there we go. Pull up the fast. Like I can get that all with one hand. So there we go. So yeah, kind of curling over a little bit here. So we'll see. We'll see what we have in store tomorrow. Futures are up a little bit, so we'll see how that carries over into the next day. So good stuff. So today, just kind of want to basically continue the conversation of inside bars and talk about something we've talked about several times. It's one where I wrote my ebook on that positive news trend or positive trends subscribers get access to when they subscribe. So it kind of goes over this, right, the 60 anchor. And so today was a great example. Today we saw Netflix on the 60 anchor. It's part of the game plan, guys. I tweet out, a free game plan every night, just to kind of, if the market is, strong or the market is weak, the different stocks to look at. And I also tweet out the 60 anchors times, right? So starting here back on the 24th, so on Monday, this was a not quite. But it was like basically Harami bar. But you could see that bar broke to the downside, gave a nice move there. And then it finally gave us here. This was 2 days ago or so. Gave us this inside bar, right, at the end of the day. And what we do is we call it the 60 anchor because it's a reference point to start trading the next day. A lot of times as traders or new traders, that we're really excited and enamored by the moves at the open, but we don't know how to catch them. Well, if we know how to trade off of these bars, it's really helpful. And so a couple here you can see we're in a clear downtrend. So a lot of folks, possibly algorithms institutions as well, were short here, kind of going to the next day. It's a little bit of a hammer. It kind of held the cloud, but still red. Well, lots of red bars, right? And then when you gap above that, right? So here it gapped above these levels. So let me just kind of illustrate these levels right here. Just gonna put those on. Don't get them confused with the ones above it. But that's what we call the 60 anchor levels. They define like a line in the sand of where you're at the open. And so here, if people were short, we gapped above it. You get yourself a gap and go right there. And that gave a nice range bar, 5.2 points yesterday off of that bar. And then we had the blessing of getting another inside 60 anchor on Netflix yesterday. And so at the end of the day, and this is even worse, right? So because here it was like a hammer, right? But here was basically an inside shooting star. And so now people are really short in here, right? So they're like, oh yeah, this is going down the next day, and then it gaps above it, right? So it didn't gap above the entire bar, but it gapped above the close, right? So you see that nice little gap right there. Okay, so at this point, not only do we have potential for a gap and go, but we're also inside the range of this bar. And so if you remember yesterday's discussion on inside bars, trading these breakout moves on these are fantastic, right? And they're easy to do. They're limited risk, right? Because here the range of this bar was only 1.45, so some sort of scale of 1.45 is your risk. With the options, you take, whatever the case. We'll take a look at it in a second just to see what the options looked like today. But you trade that breakout of this. It is hard. This is just straight up price action trading, right? Trading breakouts of prior levels. There is hardly an indicator that could show you how to catch this right at the open. There's some things we use for 15 orbs inside the private Twitter feed that help catch breakouts, but with these can be so quick that there's almost nothing that can really do it except for just purely trading the price action off of it. So let's take a look at the options, what we could have done. So here we were at 363. So one possible option is the 364 or the 365. So everybody likes a little out of the money options. So let's look at the 365s. So it would be the .Netflix tomorrow's expiration, 06/28, and we'll look at the calls and then the 365s. Okay, so I'm going to show the chart of what that looked like. So basically, right here at the open. We'll just kind of catch that bar and just see what the range of it was. Okay, so here's the bar right here. Not quite a 60 on the options chart, but you get the idea that somewhere around here we could have caught this at around, just say worst case scenario, maybe 280, something like that. Maybe even worst case scenario, 290. Okay, where's your stop? Well, your stop would be basically at the bottom of the prior inside 60 bar. So let's just go with the bottom of this. So here you're at 216. So you're really only looking, say you're in at 286 and your stop is at 216. You're really only an 80 cent risk on the options, right? So So yeah, so you think about, you just do your calculations. We're about a one put, one call on those, right? So 80 cents. So just $80 risk, right? I mean, basically on that. So 10 of those, $800 risk. But you get the idea. And so here it breaks through that bar on that, and then it kind of pushes all the way up here, gives a nice, nice move off of that bar. So that essentially was from to say like 286, say to like $5, so 46. So a nice 2-point move on that, right? So, on 10 calls, right, $2,000 trade. On one call, $200 trade. So however you want to look at it, it was a really nice risk reward, and it traded up really nicely. So these ended up going even higher throughout the day. It was 650, but that is your move right there at trading the open. Everybody wants to catch the big fast moves at the open, and that is one way to do it. So just kind of want to give you a heads up on that. I mean, here even the same thing, right? So yesterday, off of the prior inside 60 bar, remember it gapped up. Actually, here it kind of gave you an opportunity to get in off of this at 280, and these went all the way up to basically the same level. So you can kind of see how these set up again and again. So definitely worth looking at. And that's why I tweet them out, just because it's a great technique. Once you get used to it, it can be very, very consistent. So the trick is to only do it on stocks that are liquid with liquid options, and that you can handle. So you don't want to do on something boring. You don't want to do on a small stock. You want something that's going to move, like a high beta stock like Netflix or the FANG stocks. SPX sometimes, if it does it. Boeing occasionally can catch a good one. JP Morgan, and that's kind of about it. Maybe occasionally like a McDonald's. And then I also like Tesla, AMD, and Twitter. So those are some really good ones there. But just wanted to kind of go over that with you. I think it's a great technique. It kind of wraps everything up this week from our discussions. We went everything from doji sandwiches to the inside bars, and then the alligator, which is really cool. But from the inside bars, this is a great use of the inside bar technique, but we use it to trade into the next day. So hopefully you guys found that helpful. At this point, if anybody has any questions or chart requests, please feel free to plug those into the chat window, and we'll get to as many as we can. We'll try to wrap up, by 10:30 or so everybody can get a good night's sleep. And so we'll kind of go from there. So Prayer Kid, what's going on, man? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Hope you had a great day today. Jay, what's happening? Hello. Paul, what's going on, my friend? Good evening. NetFry, what's up? Good to see you. Thanks for joining in. Alpesh, how are you, my friend? Thanks. Yeah, great. Appreciate you jumping on. Yeah, so for Positive Trend subscribers, as you know, we brought in Thanson Stevens, who's just been a remarkable addition to our group, and so we did a live Q&A after the close today, and went over his cool Thandicator, which really helps us look for some good trades. Mike, what's happening? Good to see you. NetBride, Twitter, please. Still undecided, but waiting on this 34, 60, 35 range. So here's what I got on Twitter, NetBride. So Twitter was kind of on the short radar today. I think I had this as a game plan short. Ended up working after of course, gapping up. But a couple things that are happening here. I'm seeing some insider selling going on, so CEO selling, a couple of other people I think are selling. It just looked interesting. And then today, apparently they're going to start, flagging the president's tweets to see if it's compliant or not to Twitter rules. So I don't know. That's imagine how that's going to go for Twitter. So we'll see. So right now we have an extreme bearish engulfing candle. It tried to move up, as you can see if you look at the hourly chart for a little bit. Here's the prior day's range. Let me just kind of put the range up here so you can see it. There's a script in here that I'll just show you real quick. All you do is type in daily high low in the in your edit studies, so daily high low. So I'll add that to it real quick. Okay, so here we go. You can see the prior day's range. So here, originally it looked like a bearish engulfing bar here, right? Because it went below, it was red below the prior day's low, and then came back in. So it's kind of interesting. This is kind of similar to the double inside day technique. We gapped up and then we pushed through the range. So anyway, it was bearish engulfing for a little bit. Then we had this huge reversal bar, gave you a harami right here, and then broke to the downside. So at this point on the daily, this is kind of a nasty bar right here. So this is actually like a stick sandwich, I think. So different than the doji sandwich. It basically is kind of sandwiching in this one, and then with the bearish engulfing bar. I would use news on it. So, the weekly bar was really weak, kind of coming in. If it ended up pushing and getting below that cloud, it could get pretty nasty, right, over time here. So the monthly chart too, right, starting to look pretty rough. So there's not a lot of positive things going for Twitter right here, except maybe a little bit of volume at the close on a hammer bar on the 15 chart. But so it should be pretty interesting. If anything, I would look for shorting opportunities on Rips just to see. But Twitter's pretty tough to trade anyway. But I know you've capitalized it on the past, so you crushed it with the Twitter 500 challenge. So that was awesome. Let's see, Mike Tan, Solar Stocks doing great. Tan is a joke. Yeah, solar ETFs, nice. Yeah, they are doing well. I saw Run was running for a little bit too. Where's Run? I saw something this pop up in a news feed somewhere. Yeah, this is one of those kind of key reversal bars right here. So you had an inside bar. This is like that AGN, right? Inside bar kind of broke down, came back in. So you'd think it would at least want to retest, some of those areas. But yeah, so Tan. Let's take a look at the daily. That was 10, so that was kind of a key move right there. So very, very strong. I agree. And I seem to have lost the stream. Wait, we're live again. Sorry if I lost you guys for a second there. Okay. Hope you guys caught that. Okay, so XLNX. Session, how's it going? Good to see us. Sorry. Whew, long week so far. Oh my goodness gracious! I know you were talking about this one earlier. Very, very strong. It's just really tough to catch, right? But like we could kind of dig into the guts of this right here. But yeah, it's a very, very strong bar. If we could get over that 11.19, this might be a trade of the week next week. But I like this here. I like how it went inside, and then once it broke that in the VWAP, that was a nice move there from 116.90 to almost a 1 point off of that, so that was pretty good. Then it was working on a doji sandwich at the end of the day. So that was nice. Let's see if we can get some follow through for you. Maybe a little consolidation, then eventually a break out of that cloud. That would be great. Alpej, DBX, absolutely. DBX, interesting. Again, here's a key reversal bar, but the opposite way, right? So we had an inside bar, breaks to the upside, and then came back inside the range. So unless it can get above, right, today's, the prior day's high pretty quickly on Friday, it might want to retest that range there. So just be careful with that one. Session, we've got Z. Z was nice. Inside day, break to the upside. We had a lot of inside days yesterday. So on the right ones with the right momentum, you can get a move. Before I go anywhere, I just want to take a look at Amazon just to kind of see how that did today. It's a little bit choppy as well. So just kind of generally following the market. It had that nice inside, narrow range inside day yesterday. It kind of broke to the upside, but really didn't get a lot of moves. So that would have just been kind of painful on options as well. JPM session. Awesome. So basically, had this kind of inverted hammer type bar right here. The banks have been really weird recently. So just look at all the JP Morgan is normally pretty fluid to trade. Just recently, here you can get some nice candles, right? Some nice candles here, but now it's been really wicky, which I like to call if it has like these high upper shadows and lower shadows all over the place. So it's starting to get really wicky, kind of like coming up into here. So making it really difficult to trade because it's not staying firm on its direction, like one way or the other. So I'd probably just be hands off of that one. UTX option-wise is really challenging. It did have that big push down after the acquisition news. Nice reversal off of that. Here's a key reversal bar, inside bar reverse, right? I don't like how this would have been really tough to swing, but then eventually it popped, right? So inside day today on UTX, but the options are really challenging, right? They're really difficult to trade on UTX. Yeah, look at that. Like, I don't know, 50-cent spreads. Just really, really tough. So you have to be fully committed to it. Yeah. You have to be fully committed to it. So, Mike, yeah, Twitter, ugh. Yeah, no problem, Netfry, my pleasure. Mike, message retracted. Cool. Paul, WBA liftoff. Nice. That's my friend N2 Invest. It's one of his favorite ones to watch. So the last couple of weeks it's really kind of moved up pretty significantly. But here, the June low, this has been beat up for a very long time, and it's been really, really tough to trade, right? Ever since it gapped down here. So finally didn't really get a lot of volume down here, but it was a pivot right around that same time where everything was reversing off of the pitchfork level. We looked at the 15 orb today, broke out a little bit of it, but kind of stayed within that range. So I'm just kind of afraid that it's just going to kind of pitter patter around for a little bit again. Like maybe it wasn't enough to really get it going. So now if they had done what Rite Aid did, rad, which made a deal with Amazon today, that a deal that they that they couldn't refuse. Huge range today on RAD. I pointed out today on the options. Was it the July? Let's see, the $9 options on these. They went from like a penny at one point to 75 cents. So I'll just show you the chart real quick on the options. Is for a penny, right? And then you'd have been a couple minutes later. So what is this? 15 minutes. So 30 minutes later. So an hour later, could have made like 75 grand. So that would have been pretty amazing. But yeah, pretty neat stuff. I mean, tough to it's tough to find that stuff, but and to think that it would spike like that is pretty incredible. But Amazon actually showed it some love. They're going to be doing some Amazon stuff, so it's all good. So yeah, WBA needs like some love like that too. But awesome. Check out SPWR and EMPH. SPWR. Sun Power, nice. Nice inside bar right here. Nice break to the upside. I like it. Yeah, a lot of activity today. Goodness. On fire. On fire from the sun. And ENPH. Very nice too. Inside day up too. Very nice. Same setups, nice breakouts. Also CSIQ. Your Canadian Solar maybe. Nice moves. Tricky little Pinocchio bar right there, but then moved. And then JKS. Yeah, a little bit of bear flag on that one, I agree. On the daily. So yeah, that one looks a little dangerous, I agree. But sellers stuck out today. That is pretty neat. Session, let's take a look at Snap. Inside day yesterday, try to take it down a little bit. Let's take a look at, see how we are on the charts here. Let's look at the bar chart. Yeah, so working on the bump and run. Right, there's your bump. So you're bullish until proven otherwise there. Activate this. Activate. Right, so there's your bump. Here's your potential run. So just watch if it breaks down below these levels, and then it might make its way all the way back down to the fib fan. So it could be neat. So yeah, awesome. Well, we didn't have a big crowd tonight. It was a little bit light too on Twitter. I didn't see a lot of tweets out tonight either. So I guess everybody's enjoying the weather and enjoying everything. So Shirley, what's going on? You made it. I was just about to wrap up. I was like, no charts from Shirley. So cool. Yeah, let's take a look at AMAT. Let's let it pull up. I was like, I guess that's all we got. Supply materials, right? These have been a little bit risky just because of the tariff type stuff. But yeah, if we get a deal and stuff this weekend, it could be pretty good. So there's your just remove that right there. There's your trend line. So it's bullish until proven otherwise. Very very sharp move right here. So just be careful. But yeah, as long as it continues to hold this trend line, right, it can still be bullish, and your levels are good. Look pretty good there. CTL. CTL was move there. Obviously bullish. So yeah, so as long as it holds these levels, we might look at the 30 orb tomorrow, and then kind of continue its way up. So working its way up. Very very strong day today. Oh, everybody's excited for another Trump tweet. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, they'll be coming out soon, I'm sure. So WBA, we just took a look at that, but yeah, very very bullish day today. So if we can get above, kind of get above and stay above these levels, this kind of 55 level, then it could definitely start working and filling that gap. Oh yeah, everybody's watching the debate. So I had more people on Super Bowl night, I think. So, NOY. That's cool. I appreciate everybody, and I know lots of folks come back and rewatch it. So, let's see. So, Nelly Capital Management. Okay, yeah. So, obviously be careful of this. Am I looking at the right thing, Shirley? Yeah, just be really careful of this gap down. I like the reversal bar, but it's definitely that has definitely changed trend. So just be careful with that. People watching Bernie. CTVA. Bullish. So that's looking good. I know, Nefra. Ally. Here. Bullish. BJ. Good old BJ is back in business. Bullish. And NG. Nova Gold. Amazing. Super parabolic. This deserves a channel. So just be careful with this one with the channel. So just because it's getting there. I mean, you've traded these penny stocks more than me, but this thing could obviously could go very, very long way. But that was a huge move from that 385 level. Pretty incredible there. Session Uber. Yeah, I think they got what are they? I saw a tweet from Christian Fromhertz saying it closed over 45 for the first time. So since it got here, so that was its kind of key level. I mean, it tagged over it, but it hasn't closed over it. So today it closed at 45.13. So that's a big deal. Might actually get some action on it, kind of going forward here. It was definitely kind of in the bearish world for a little bit, and now it does seem to be working its way up. So that is a good thing. And it's back over that upward trend line there, and it broke. So here was the you could see this was the downward trend line, and then it kind of just broke through that today. Broke through two of them. Just by Uber at new highs, I guess. Right, exactly. And then OD, how's it going? Chewy. Yeah, so here we are with our 1, 2, 3. This is more like a subwave here. Kind of 1, 2. Right. So it actually is. It had a nice move today. And you could see potentially like a little bit of a higher high here. If you did, then it might be time to look to see this thing kind of go down. Look at how low the volume has gone, just comparatively. I mean, it's still 1.5 million shares. It's still a big deal, but it's just look how much it's drifted down, right? So, to me, still looking weak. 1, 2, possibly working on a wave 3 of 3 soon. So just be careful of that to the downside. Good stuff. All right, guys. Well, we finished one before 10 o'clock tonight, so that gives us plenty of time to get some rest. Really appreciate everybody tuning in. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the little discussion on the 60 anchor today. And really appreciate everybody. If you're new here, you're watching this for the first time, please subscribe on the YouTube channel. Lots of good links in the description there. Follow us on Twitter. We always tweet lots of great charts and have good ideas. And if you really, really like everything, check us out at positivetrends-trends.com, where we have all sorts of good services from a newsletter to a private Twitter feed and things like that. So, oh yeah, shop real quick. Yeah. Yeah, amazing move. I mean, just amazing trade. I mean, it's back above the trend line, so I mean, to me, I really feel like it could get to fill this gap here at like 309. But yeah, nice ball. But yeah, so appreciate you guys. So have a great night, get some rest, and remember your risk first, and stay safe so you can stay in the game. And I will talk to you guys on Sunday, where we have another special guest coming in. I think you're gonna love it. So I'll talk to you then. See you later.